my beloved child. Here is another letter I write to you, a soul I ceaselessly watch over among countless earthly footsteps. Are you listening to me, not just with your ears but with your heart? Because today what I am about to say will not be like before. Have you ever looked at your life and wondered, how can all these small trivial things happening possibly serve some greater purpose? Perhaps you think life is just drifting aimlessly. But the truth is not a single moment passes that isn't part of the plan I have designed for you. Not one tear you shed is without meaning. Not a single failure you endure is wasted. Today I want you to listen with special attentiveness because I am about to open your eyes to a deeper purpose, a greater impact than anything you have ever imagined. Everything happening, whether faint or painful, whether shattered or silent, is part of the masterpiece I am crafting. I am placing each piece with intention, painting a magnificent and glorious picture. My beloved, this is not merely a message. This is a sacred conversation between me and you. At times you may feel my silence, but do not mistake my silence for absence. Like a teacher during an exam, I am still there, observing every answer you write with your life. You are in a season where things seem not to go your way, where doors seem to close and prayers seem to echo without response. But child, miracles do not come when noise fills the air. They come in the stillest of moments when I am about to step into your darkness with a light no one expects. I know you are weary. I see you struggle to hold on to faith. I hear even the most desperate whispers you've uttered through tears. But today, I want you to believe this: what is coming is not just for your benefit. It will be living proof of my power, a power that can turn sorrow into song deserts into vineyards, and cause others to stand in awe when they see how I've lifted you from where you once stood to a place overflowing with blessing and clarity. And they will ask, how could this possibly happen? The answer lies not in human strength, not in personal effort, but in my mercy. Mercy from the one who sees what human eyes cannot, who moves in silence and prepares something far greater than you could ever imagine. Today you will begin to see everything differently. I do not promise the journey will be easy, but I promise to walk every step with you. You will never be alone. In every trial, I will be with you. In every hard decision, I will guide you. And in every moment when you feel like collapsing, it is I who will lift you up. Do you remember when you were a child how you would call out for your mother or father when darkness filled the room and just one reply brought peace to your heart? Today is the same. Just one cry, Lord, and you will feel my presence, and not just peace, but transformation, because the moment I've been preparing for you is drawing near. This is not mere encouragement, not a temporary comfort. This is a promise. And as with every word I have ever spoken since the beginning of creation, when I promise, it shall come to pass. You don't need to know exactly what is coming, but you must be ready. Ready to open your heart. Ready to cast off the limits you've placed upon yourself, ready to receive the greatness I am about to release through you. Because it will not only change your life, it will cause others to reconsider what they once thought was certain. Are you ready? This is the opening chapter of a new story, a story in which I am the author and you are the central character, a story that will astonish many because they will see undeniably my hand moving in your life. Listen to this letter as a sign of faith. Do not dismiss it as coincidence. Nothing I do is random. You are living in a sacred moment, a crossroads between a wounded past and a glorious future. Everything is in motion, and I am speaking directly to you, my beloved child. I know there are moments when you wonder, why is this happening to me? Why can't things just be a little easier? But you don't realize I foresaw every stumble, every muddy road, and I still chose you. Not because you are stronger than others, but because I knew that through your wounds, my light would shine for others to see. Don't think you've been forgotten in this loud and hurried world. You are being hidden under the shadow of my wings to be refined, so that at the appointed time you will emerge in glory, and the world will cry out, truly the Lord is alive. Have you noticed? The moments that nearly broke you were the times I was closest to you. When you lost what you clung to so tightly, it was my hand gently placing something better into your heart. But I need you to let go first. I need you to trust. Trust that my blessings are never late. They arrive at the precise moment when your soul is ready to hold them and not let them slip away. And that moment is drawing near. I see your faith awakening, even if it's as small as a mustard seed, but for me, that is enough to move mountains. Look again at the fragments of your life. Nothing is meaningless. The disappointments, the relationships that seemed like wrong, turns the opportunities you thought had slipped away. They did not come to destroy you. They came to prepare you, to shape you into a precious instrument ready for my hand to use. Others may only see failure, but I see design. And if you are still brave enough to trust my hand, then what looked like the end yesterday will become the beginning of the grand plan I have reserved for your life. My beloved, I saw you sitting alone in the darkness, holding on to pieces no one else could see. I know every hidden wound, every time you tried to mask your pain behind a strained smile. You thought I was silent, but that silence was not abandonment. It was preparation. I have not wasted a single tear of yours. Every pain you have endured, every misunderstanding, rejection, and heartbreak, I have kept account of it all. Because those very things will become the foundation of a story of restoration I am writing into your life. I will turn the wounds that seemed so useless into undeniable evidence of a power no one can deny. My power to heal, restore, and lift up. You will be a living answer to those who ask, "Where is God in the midst of pain?" Do you remember Joseph? My son, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. His life was torn apart by injustice and betrayal, yet it was in the lowest place that I laid my mighty hand. In the very place where no one saw a future, I planted the seeds of a great deliverance. In the end, Joseph held the key to save a nation and to forgive those who had hurt him. I am doing the same in you, my child. Those who hurt you will witness my glory upon your life. As it is written, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis 5:0-20. I do not delight in your pain, but I will never let it go to waste. I am the one who turns what the enemy intended to break you into tools that shape and strengthen you. You may not see it now, but the day will come when in the very place you once wept, you will stand firm and help others rise. I will give you a heart that is tender, yet strong, a spirit that feels deeply without judging. You will become a refuge for broken souls because you know what that pain feels like. And when you say, "The Lord healed me," they will believe you because they will see the truth of it in you. Your scars do not need to be hidden. In my kingdom, scars are the medals of those who have survived and overcome. Just as my son Jesus bore the nail marks in his hands after rising from the dead, not to recall the pain but to testify to the victory, so will your wounds once healed by me become signs of triumph. They will no longer speak of victimhood but of victory. And through you, others will begin to believe that healing is possible for them too. You may be asking yourself, "Why me?" But I ask you this: if not you, then who? You have suffered and yet you are still standing. You have wept, but still you believe in me. That is why you are strong enough for me to entrust with a mission, not just to survive, but to live fully and become a source of life for others. You are not chosen because you are perfect, but because you are willing to keep walking even with trembling feet. It is that very weakness that I will turn into strength. I want you to understand this glory does not come through the avoidance of pain, but through letting me enter into the heart of it with you. When you invite me into your deepest wounds, I will turn that place into a glorious altar. Where you were once brought low, I will lift you up. Where you were once rejected, I will make you beloved. And in the place you once longed to forget, I will leave a mark of grace so powerful that generations cannot ignore it. Do not fear when I bring to light what you've tried to bury. I do not uncover to condemn, but to heal. I do not bring it up so you will live in shame, but so you will see how far you've come. I am forming a witness, not a victim. When you rise and tell your story, in my name, other souls will be lifted up. Your words will carry power not because of eloquence, but because they are born of truth, reborn in grace. My beloved, if you are still breathing, then I am still writing your story. Do not let a dark chapter cause you to close the book. What is coming will make every past moment necessary. I have used and am still using every piece, even the broken ones, to craft a story that no one will be able to deny. A story that when others witness it, they will say, "Surely God is real, because no one else could have done that in a life like this." Are you ready for me to turn your pain into glory? If you allow me to heal you, then yesterday's wounds will become the foundation for a new life today. Everything you have endured will no longer be a burden but a living testimony, honest, powerful, and full of life. You are not defined by your wounds, but by the one who healed you. Let me begin here, right where you are standing. Because I love you, and I have never stopped loving you. I know there are moments when you feel so small that it seems nothing significant is happening in your life. Everything around you appears to repeat day after day, month after month, and you begin to wonder, is God still doing anything at all? But my child, just because the surface seems still doesn't mean I've stopped working. I am the one who labors in silence, clearing a path through the wilderness. When you see no movement, that is when I am laying each stone, opening every door, arranging every detail, so that when the time comes, what I do in your life will be undeniable to all. You've heard my voice through Isaiah, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth, shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." Isaiah 4:3-19. Notice I did not say I would repair the old. I said I would do something new. What I am preparing for you is not a replica of what has been, it is something that has never been. It is because this thing is so new and so great that when it comes, no one will remain unmoved. They will look at you and find no explanation in logic or luck. They will only be able to say, "Surely the Lord is at work." There are things I have kept hidden from human eyes for a long time because they needed to be nurtured in silence. Like a seed in the soil, it does not bloom instantly. But when the time comes, it breaks through the shell, pushes past the dirt and stone, and reaches for the light. And everyone sees that it has grown. So it will be with you. Your hidden days, your seasons of hardship were to deepen your roots. So that when I reveal what I've formed in you, not one person, friend or stranger, skeptic or cynic will be able to deny it. Remember, my child, my glory never appears halfway. When I move completely. When I restore, I make all things new. And when I reveal, I make every eye take notice. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. Do not concern yourself with building a record of achievements or rush to rationalize my plan. This present silence is proof that what I'm preparing is great enough to speak for itself. You will not need to shout. The results will say it all. They once looked down on you, didn't they? Some thought you would never make it, that you would break halfway through. Some quietly walked away when they saw your weakness. But what they didn't know is that you were in my hands. And the smaller you appeared in the eyes of man, the more I will use you to reveal what goes beyond human understanding. I do not need the approval of others to bless you. When the time comes, even those who doubted you will have to ask themselves, how could that happen to someone like them? You may not have the position, the resources, or the backing, but you have me. And when I begin a work, no one can stop it. They may scheme, they may retreat, but as it is written, what he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open. Revelation 3:7. I am not only about to do something great in your life, I am about to do something undeniable. They may argue, they may envy, they may scoff, but they will not be able to deny what they see. My beloved, what I am about to do is not just to bring you joy, but to let the world know that I am God. I am not doing it for your fame, but that my name may be glorified through you. Through you, I will display a power that no one can attribute to anything other than faith and grace. And what you have waited for will not trickle in it, will pour down like a heavy rain, full and overflowing. The blessings you receive will not stop with you, but spill over to others, and they will behold it speechless. Are you ready? Not to strive, but to receive. You don't need to rush, for your part is to persist and trust. Do not let delay make you doubt. Do not let my silence make you fear. What I am about to do will shatter every judgment, silence every skeptical gaze, and raise you up as undeniable proof that I am the Lord, the living God, working in you. I know that waiting is never easy, especially when you don't know exactly what's coming. But I have never asked you to understand every part of my plan. I have only asked you to trust me. Because if I showed you everything ahead, your heart would not be able to bear its wonder. You would not only be surprised, you would be overwhelmed. I am the one who designs both time and timing. Every detail of your life, no matter how small, is being woven by me into a tapestry that will one day unfold to leave all who see it in awe. When I lift you up, no one can bring you down. And you won't need to seek recognition. What I do in you will speak for itself. So, my child, keep your soul still like the earth waiting for rain. Do not let impatience overshadow your trust. I have begun a work and I will complete it at the appointed time. What I am about to do is not for you to boast about, but so that even those who never believed in me will have to reconsider. I will overturn assumptions, dismantle what people thought was certain, and from within you, my light will shine like the dawn after a long night. Do not shrink back when I make you stand out, for this is not to elevate you, but to show everyone that I am still alive, still working miracles even in this generation. My beloved child, I know you felt abandoned, overlooked, and treated as though you don't matter. Words have wounded you deeply, not because they were true, but because they came from those you once loved. I saw you trying to prove your worth, just to be seen, just to be accepted. But my dear one, your worth does not come from anyone's approval. It comes from my choice. Before you did anything, before you even spoke your first word, I called you chosen, purposed, irreplaceable. I want you to remember this with clarity. They may reject you, but they cannot define you. They cannot see the fullness of what I am doing within you, and I am not asking them to. When you focus too much on being loved and acknowledged by the world, you forget that it was I who called you by name before the world even knew you. As it is written, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands, Isaiah 49:16. You are etched into my hands, not with ink, but with everlasting love. So why let the words of a human so fleeting like the wind shake your trust in what I have already declared? Do you remember David, a shepherd boy not even mentioned by his own father, when the prophet Samuel came to anoint a king? People saw a nameless, unremarkable child, but I saw a king. Others may overlook you, but I will always see you. And just as I chose David among brothers who seemed more qualified, I have chosen you not because you are perfect, but because I see your heart, your longing for me, the loyalty you didn't even know you carried. Rejection does more than hurt. It causes you to question yourself. It whispers that you are not good enough, not smart enough, not beautiful enough, not important enough. But I ask you, who has the final word in defining you? Their words or mine? If I have declared that you are loved, chosen, and sent with a mission, then no one can take that from you. Not even you can cancel what I have ordained for your life, unless you stop believing me. You may not yet see greatness in yourself. Perhaps all you see are the failures, the dismissals, and the many times you've been pushed aside. But I see a flickering flame, and I know how to breathe it into a mighty blaze. I never chose you because you had it all. I chose you because you have me, and I will complete what is lacking. Do not let rejection cause you to shrink. Let it be the evidence that I am setting you apart for something greater, something only my grace can lift you into. My child, if everyone is applauding you, you may be walking the wrong way. True light often makes those who live in darkness uncomfortable. I told you already, if they hated me, they will hate you too. But the rejection of this world is an invitation for you to cling to me more, to become more like me, and to walk closer to the destiny I've prepared for you. Don't seek agreement, seek my presence. In that stillness you will hear me whisper again, you are mine. I have called you by name. You belong to me. Isaiah 4:3-1. Let rejection become the shell that guards the treasure within. Just as a pearl is formed through hidden pain in the body of an oyster, your value is not in your outer appearance but in the silent endurance of your inner trials. When you offer me your wounds of abandonment, I will turn them into a foundation of unshakable resolve. When you lift your head and believe my words above theirs, it is then that you become immovable, and those who once could not see you will not be able to ignore what I do through you. Remember, my child, not everyone needs to understand you. I understand you, and sometimes loneliness is a call to return to me, to the place where you don't need to perform. I love you when no one claps. I love you when you fail. I love you when you are forgotten. That love doesn't shift with likes, messages, or applause. It stands like a rock, flows like a gentle stream, and endures like my promise. So let me be the loudest voice in your heart. When I say you are valuable, that is eternal truth. No one can erase it. My beloved, you are not the only one who has been rejected, misunderstood, or excluded. Even my son Jesus was rejected by his own people, betrayed by close friends, abandoned by crowds who once praised him. But none of that stopped my plan through him, and no one can stop my plan for you. They may have misjudged you, but that does not undo the right choice I have made over your life. When I choose, I don't choose by human standards. I choose with eternal wisdom. And you, though rejected by the world, are fully accepted by me. That is enough. Therefore be strong in heart. Do not look for your worth in the eyes of others. Find it in the kind gaze of mine. I do not see you as just another soul lost in the crowd. I see you as a precious jewel, shaped, protected, and about to be used mightily. You are part of a greater work I am building. And no matter how many times the world has rejected you, remember this: once I have set my seal upon you, no one can remove it. You are my child, redeemed at great cost and created for eternal purpose. I know your mind is weary, pulled in many directions at once. Family, work responsibilities, unspoken worries. Even when your body is still, your mind keeps racing, and somehow you've forgotten how to listen. But today I want you to pause, not to give up, but to prepare. Because the blessing I am about to release is not something you can receive in distraction, in a scattered mind, or an unsettled soul. The focus I speak of is not some superhuman effort, but a quiet agreement deep within your spirit that says, Lord, prepare my heart first. Because some of what you've asked for hasn't been delayed, it's simply that you haven't been ready to receive it. If I gave it to you now before you could sustain it, the very blessing would become a burden. Like a field left unplowed, if seeds fall on hardened ground, they die. I love you too much to give you something you cannot yet cherish. That is not delay. It is mercy. Can you see it? The seasons when I pulled you away from spotlight noise and high places, those were not seasons of demotion but preparation. I've been drawing you into secret places to teach you to hear my voice, to help you discern truth from imitation, to train you to live without relying on human applause. I need you to learn to stand in solitude so that when the blessing arrives in the light, you won't be swept away by it. I don't just want you to receive good things, I want you to keep them. I need you to learn to focus not only with your mind, but with your heart. Some things cannot be seen with the eye, they must be seen with faith. There will be times I won't lay out the whole path, but I will test whether you keep your eyes on me while everything else screams for your attention. I will not share my glory with what fragments your soul. For when I bless you, I am not merely giving you a thing, I am entrusting you with a piece of my eternal plan. And to receive it, your heart must be wholly still and fully turned toward me. Oh, my child, the focus you need is not to do more, but to do the right things at the right time with the right posture. In the world, busyness is mistaken for fruitfulness. But in my kingdom, quiet obedience often bears more fruit than noise. Do not let your heart be drawn to clamor. Learn to be still before me, for it is in that stillness that you will hear what you need to hear most. The blessing I am sending will require faithfulness, not only when results are visible, but when the seed is still hidden in the soil. There are miracles that are revealed in the open, but they begin in hidden preparation. I have seen you bow in prayer where no one else sees. I have watched you obey me, even when you did not understand. I have witnessed your steadfastness in the smallest of things, and it is this focus I have been seeking. When I see your heart no longer chasing after approval, when I watch you turn away from the world's easy invitations, I know you are becoming ready. Ready for me to pour out a goodness far beyond what you can imagine. And my child, what I am preparing is not just to bring you joy. It will be a sign to others that I am the living God. Your focus now is what will open the way for others to encounter my presence. They will see you, and they will be compelled to ask, what has kept this one standing firm? And in that moment you will say, it is because I have learned to fix my eyes on the Lord, even in the storm. The quiet preparation you are making today will be the foundation for the miracle of tomorrow, so do not rush. I do not want you to arrive at your destination in confusion. I want you to come with peace, with open hands and a heart that knows. The Lord has prepared me and I am ready. The blessing is not far off, but that blessing needs a soul that is awake. Let me finish what I have begun in you, through focus, through obedience, and through trust, that I never do anything halfway. What I am about to do will surpass your expectations, but first you must prepare your heart like a banquet table ready to receive the King. Perhaps you are asking, how much focus is really necessary? Does the preparation truly have to take this long? I understand that weariness in your soul. But my child, if you knew the greatness of what I am preparing, you would understand why your heart must be fully ready. I do not want you to carry the blessing for just a few days. I want you to walk with it for the rest of your life. And to do that, you cannot be shallow, you cannot be hurried, you cannot allow your mind to be distracted by what is temporary. I am looking for a heart that can hold on to holiness in the midst of a chaotic world. I am looking for a person not drawn by noise, but drawn to my presence. Remember this. What I prepare for you is not only to give, but also to entrust. When a soul is ready, I do not only bless, I assign. Blessing always comes with calling, and calling always demands serious preparation. I have not called you to live a fleeting life. I have called you to live a life of purpose, of impact, of depth. So do not despise the seasons that seem quiet. It is in your focus now that something wondrous is quietly being formed. And then at the time I have appointed, it will all be revealed like the dawn, radiant, peaceful, and unstoppable. My beloved, I know there are times when you have only one thing left to cling to, the faint hope that I am still there. You look around and see nothing worth giving thanks for. Every door seems closed, prayers unanswered, and your heart grows heavy. But in that very moment, if you can still say, "Thank you, Lord, for you are still my God," that is a miraculous step of faith. Gratitude does not require perfect circumstances, it only requires a heart that believes I am still working even in the silence. Understand, this gratitude is not a feeling, it is a spiritual decision. When you choose gratitude instead of complaint, you are declaring God is greater than my circumstances. When you give thanks even in lack, you are opening your heart to abundance. Just as the Buddha once taught, he who knows contentment is truly rich. I want you to see that true wealth does not come from what is in your hand, but from the posture of your heart toward life. Gratitude is the gateway into spiritual fullness because it protects you from bitterness, from fear, and from spiritual barrenness. When you reject gratitude, your heart slowly becomes like dry ground. No matter how much I pour out blessings, the seeds cannot grow if your heart is closed. But if you are grateful, even if only for your breath, for the morning light, for a whispered scripture in the night, I can take that small offering and use it as a foundation to multiply blessings in your life. It is when you are grateful for the little that you prove yourself ready for the much. Do you see? When Jesus stood before 5 loaves and 2 fish, he did not complain about how little there was. He lifted his eyes to heaven and gave thanks. And it was that very act of gratitude that made way for the miracle of multiplication, feeding more than 5,000 people. You must do the same. Don't look at your empty hands. Look at my hand, which can multiply the little when you offer it with a thankful heart. Gratitude is not just words, it is an act of trust. A grateful heart will never be in lack, because it always sees the hidden value in what seems small. So, my child, don't wait until everything is right to give thanks. If you cannot be thankful in hardship, you won't be thankful in abundance. For contentment does not come from circumstances, it comes from the relationship you have with me. Practice a life of gratitude not only in your prayers but in how you see each day. A simple meal, a warm glance, a word of encouragement, these are all miracles when seen through grateful eyes. When you are grateful, you are living the way heaven intended your soul to live. As Buddhist teachings also remind us, one who drinks water must remember the source. I want you to be one who always remembers the source, me, in all that you have. That gratitude does not make me need you more, but it enlarges your heart to receive more. When you live in the spirit of thankfulness, you will receive not only material things but also satisfaction, peace, and a tender heart. That is true abundance, unchanging in the face of worldly tides, unshaken by circumstance. And my child, the one who is grateful, will also become a channel of blessing to others. When you give thanks and share what is good, you sow a river that flows from within. Those around you, perhaps dry, discouraged, or hopeless, will find in you a stream of living water. That is how I will use you, a grateful soul sowing hope into a world desperate for light. You won't need to preach loudly. Your spirit of gratitude will glorify me. So, my child, do not wait until you see everything to give thanks. Give thanks so that you may see everything. Gratitude may not change your situation instantly, but it will change you, and when you are changed, everything else will follow. Learn to see life through eyes of thankfulness. To awaken each day is a miracle to have. Me is an unending hope. Every day, every breath, every step is a gift. And when you treasure that gift, you are living exactly as I created you to live, with a soul that knows how to receive, how to offer, and how to give thanks. My beloved, I know there are times you feel like you're speaking into an empty room. You pour out your heart, you share what I'm doing in your life, but all you receive in return are confused stares, doubtful questions, or silence. I know that feeling. I see the loneliness you bear when others misunderstand you, when the sacred things you cherish are dismissed or doubted. But my child, being understood is not a requirement for being used by me. Some of what I'm doing in you is too deep, too holy for the world to comprehend, and that is the very evidence that it is I who am at work. Remember, when I speak, I do not need the crowd's approval. I only need your faith. There were times even my most faithful servants were misunderstood by those closest to them. Joseph spoke of his dreams, they laughed. Noah built an ark, they mocked. But when the day came for my word to be fulfilled, every eye was silenced. They may not understand you today, but they will see tomorrow. Not because you try to prove yourself, but because I will do something undeniable through your life. As it is written, you will see the salvation of the Lord, which he will accomplish for you today. For the Egyptians whom you see today, you shall never see again. Exodus 1:4-1-3. My child, I know how misunderstandings can wear you down. Sometimes you think, if only they could understand my heart, maybe things would be different. But I want you to know this. There are seasons when I allow you to be misunderstood, so that you may learn that being understood by me is enough. When you stop striving to be understood by people, you begin to live more freely, more authentically, and more deeply in communion with me. And the beautiful thing is, as you walk faithfully, even when no one else understands you, my power is made most visible. Others won't understand why you still love even when you are rejected. They won't understand why you forgive, even when no one apologizes. They won't understand how you remain at peace in the middle of a storm, how you give, even when you have little, how you still praise me when there's no answer in sight. But the very things they do not understand will stir their questions, and those questions will lead them to me. You are a sign. You are a living testimony. I am using you as a silent sermon, and when the time I've appointed comes, they will see me through you without you having to say much at all. Remember, my child, you don't always need to defend yourself. Sometimes silence is your strength, and I will speak on your behalf through the results. Just as Jesus stood silent before the court, he did not argue with man, but let the resurrection speak loudest of all. I do not need you to debate to preserve the truth. I need you to live in truth. And when you walk in my word, the truth will speak for itself. Even if they do not understand you, they will not be able to deny that there is something supernatural in you, something that can only come from me. Sometimes I allow you to walk alone so that my power may be revealed in full. If everyone stood by your side, they might think your strength came from their support. But when no one remains, and yet I still bring you to where you need to be, they will have no words, only the acknowledgement that there is a God who has acted. Just as I promised in Joel 2:6-27, my people shall never be put to shame. Then you shall know that I am the Lord your God. I will move in such a way that yesterday's misunderstanding becomes today's awe. Rest in the truth that being understood is not the goal. Being moved by me is the treasure. If today you find yourself alone, if only you and I understand the story unfolding, then that is enough. Because the day is coming when you will stand in a place where even those who once doubted you will say, "Surely the Lord has done this." Not because you are extraordinary, but because I have revealed myself through you in a way they cannot deny, and the glory will not belong to you, but will return to the one it always belonged to me. My beloved, there are moments when I purposely allow others to misunderstand you, not to diminish you, but to lift you up in the right way. If everyone understood and supported you, you would lean on that and slowly forget me. But in misunderstanding, you return to me. You seek me more, and in that place, through the night and through the tears, I shape you. You don't need the applause of the world to know you're on the right path. My presence is your greatest confirmation. And I promise when the time is right, I will pull back the veil and all will see that I was with you the entire time. And do you know what, my child? It is that very misunderstanding that will make what I do all the more clear and awe-inspiring. If everyone could predict where you were going, it would no longer be a miracle. But when they cannot understand why you're walking, why you're still standing, still peaceful, and then they witness you, reaching what seemed impossible, they will know this could only have been done by God. And in that moment their eyes won't be on you, but on me. And you, my humble vessel, will become the living proof of my power at work in this world. So, my child, if today you are misunderstood, misjudged, cast aside, smile, and keep walking in obedience. Do not let the ignorance of others hinder my work through you. I am not looking for the understood. I am looking for the willing, and I have chosen you. You do not need human approval for me to move in power. You only need a heart that yields. And I will make the world look at you and know God is alive, God is working, and God is choosing the ones the world cannot comprehend. I know you have cried out to me through tears and received no reply. There have been long nights when you asked, "Are you even listening?" Mornings when you awoke with a heavy heart because nothing you prayed for seemed to shift. I see it all. I hear every sigh. But my child, do not confuse my silence with absence. I am not silent because I have forgotten you. I am silent because I am working in depths you cannot yet see. Do you know that the greatest works are often prepared in silence? A seed sprouts beneath the soil without a sound. A child grows in the womb with no noise. In the same way, what I am forming in your life requires stillness. Not because I want to test you, but because some divine works can only unfold in complete quiet, so I may shape your heart, arrange circumstances, and lead each step with perfect precision. My beloved, I know you long for clear signs. You want open doors, sudden miracles, visible affirmations of my promises. But real faith does not grow by sight. It grows by trusting me when nothing is visible. My silence is not a void. It is preparation. When I am not speaking, it means I am acting in ways you cannot measure, in firm, steady, supernatural ways, beyond what you can imagine. I am laying each brick for a result that will leave you in awe. But more than the miracle, I want you to learn unconditional trust. When you learn to wait on me in silence, you open yourself to receive what is beyond expectation. I do not delay to make you suffer. I delay to prepare something big enough, strong enough, timed perfectly, so that when it comes, you will know without a doubt that it was not chance, but my divine plan. And you will no longer question, because every piece will fall into place flawlessly. My child, I have never left you. I have never been indifferent. It's just that some things I must do behind the veil. I am touching hearts. You cannot see, changing situations you do not know, aligning the right people, the right moment, the right place, no detail left undone. And when the time I've set arrives, everything will come into the light, undeniably so. Then you will understand why I remained silent for so long, so that my glory would be revealed in full. Don't let the silence make you retreat. Let it draw you deeper into my presence. Instead of asking, "Lord, what are you doing?" whisper, "Lord, I know you are doing what is best." The answer is not found in noise, but in the rest of your heart. When you are still and know that I am God, all anxiety will fade. And in that moment, you will not just wait for the miracle, you will become part of the miracle being formed. Can you imagine it? Every promise I've ever made to you is still coming step by step without a sound. Just as the sunrise does not need a trumpet to appear, so will my intervention come quiet but unstoppable. You will not need to do much, only obey, keep your heart soft, and trust that I have never forgotten you. Not for one moment have I stopped loving you. Not one plan have I abandoned. Everything is coming in heaven's way and heaven's time. So, my child, if today the answer has not yet come, hold fast to the truth that the answer is being prepared more carefully than anything you could ask for. And when it arrives, you will know that my silence was not neglect, it was the holiest part of your journey of faith. Keep going, keep believing, because I am doing something extraordinary, even when you can't hear a thing. My beloved child, I know the journey you're walking is far from easy. There are days when you feel completely drained, as though you don't have the strength to take another step. There are nights when your tears quietly soak your pillow and you ask yourself, why must I go through all of this? But my dear one, in every single moment I am here. Not a single tear you shed is meaningless. Not one trial you endure is wasted. I am using every piece of it to prepare you not just for blessings, but for a calling. You are walking through fire not to be consumed, but to be refined. I am forging you through the very things you wish to avoid. But you are not a victim. You are a witness. I am turning every sorrow, every loss, every stumble into living lessons. Lessons that one day you will use to uplift others. What you are enduring today will become the light on someone else's path tomorrow. Because the lost will need someone who has known the darkness to lead them back into the light. Remember Joseph. Sold into slavery by his own brothers. Falsely accused, unjustly, imprisoned. What in that young man's life seemed fair. And yet in time those very injustices became the keys that opened the way to the throne. And from that place he didn't just save himself, he saved his family, a people, and entire nations. Do you see? The pain you think is ruining your life is actually the tool I am using to prepare you for something far greater than you can imagine. I do not let you suffer because I have forgotten you. I allow you to suffer because I trust you. I trust that you will not give up, that you will not let bitterness drown your faith. And when you overcome, you will become the voice someone else needs to hear. When someone tells you I can't go on, you will not respond with theory, you will speak from lived experience. And your words will carry weight not because you are eloquent, but because you have bled and survived, lost and still believed. My child, you are not walking alone. You are not just learning how to live, you are learning how to love others more deeply. I am teaching you compassion through every ache of your heart, so that when someone collapses in pain, you will not look at them with judgment, but with hands ready to lift. You will be the living proof that says, I was there too, but God did not abandon me, and He will not abandon you. That is the healing I will bring to others through you. And they will believe because you once broke, and yet you still stand. Do not despise what you've walked through. Do not be ashamed of the dark chapters in your story. To me, your scars do not make you unworthy, they make you real. A soul that has known pain but remained faithful is one of the most powerful instruments I can use, and I will use you, not when you're perfect, but in the very state you're in with every mark and wound you carry. What you're walking through now will become the doorway for someone else. And on the day you lift them up, you will understand why I led you through this path. I am not merely leading you to restoration. I am preparing you to become what others have been waiting for, a comforter, a guide, an encourager. You don't have to do something grand, just be faithful. Every pain you endure with faith, every time you choose obedience over complaint, every moment you offer your suffering to me, you are composing a living melody that will bring peace to another soul. So do not grumble about the rocky road. Do not resent that I chose you to walk through what others didn't have to. I chose you because I believe you can become light after walking through darkness. I already see a generation that will be lifted by your courage. And I see clearly that one day when you look back on this journey, you will no longer ask, why did I have to suffer? Instead, you will whisper, thank you for never letting go of my hand in the storm. And thank you for making me into someone I never dreamed I could become. In the whirlwind of worries, confusion, and pressure, I see your mind like disturbed water. You try to hear my voice, but everything seems muffled. You read my word, but your heart finds no rest. I know you're praying. I know you're seeking me. But my child, what you're missing is not faith, it's inner stillness. Because I do not move through chaos, I reveal myself through peace. As the ancient saying goes, when the mind is still, clarity comes. When the water is calm, the bottom is seen. You need a peaceful mind to perceive what I am doing. When your heart is overwhelmed with fear, you cannot hear me. Not because I am not speaking, but because the noise of anxiety drowns out the gentle voice of the Spirit. Peace is not the absence of hardship, it is my presence in the hardship, and where my presence is real, there is true peace. You cannot control everything around you, but you can choose your posture within. You can say to yourself, no matter what I believe, God is working. When your mind rests, your heart becomes fertile ground for me to plant my deepest truths. I will show you new paths. I will place ideas in your heart that even you will marvel at for their wisdom. But you can only receive when your heart ceases to wrestle with what has not yet happened. My beloved child, do not let the world convince you that stress is responsibility and busyness is glory. I do not need you to strain to do my work. I need you to rest in me so I can work through you. Just as meditation in Buddhist practice helps one return to the breath, I call you to return to my living presence, where there is no fear, no race, no proving, only the true relationship between father and child. There you don't have to earn your worth. There you only need to be, and I will do the rest. Offer me your confusion. When your heart is tangled, don't try to solve everything. Return to stillness, close your eyes and whisper, Father, I choose to believe you are in control. In that moment, your mind will grow light, and I will have room to move in the clearest way. Not when you try harder, but when you trust deeper. I am not driven by panic. I am drawn by complete trust from a resting heart. Do you know, my child, that miracles often come after the quietest moments? Jesus often withdrew from the crowds to the mountains, to the wilderness to pray. And afterward, power would pour forth. Likewise, my greatest work in you will not come when you are rushing, but when you are still. A peaceful mind is not just a good environment. It is a necessary condition to perceive and remain in my guidance. I see how weary your thoughts have made you. You juggle 100 scenarios in your mind, unsure of the right path. You carry the weight of every decision as if everything depends on you. But you forget I hold the future. When you let your heart be at peace, you're saying, I don't need to know everything, I just need to know God is leading me, and I, the faithful one, will not leave you wandering in the dark. I will light your way with the glow that comes from inner rest. So, my child, choose stillness when everything feels too much. Choose to exhale when fear presses in. Let your mind become a place where I can dwell like a garden of peace, untouched by the noise of the world. In that stillness you will know I've been near all along, not through wind, not through earthquake, not through blazing fire, but through a quiet whisper within your soul. That is when I move, not with noise, but with power. My beloved child, I rejoice when I see you cherish what I have given you. I have seen the moments your heart overflowed with gratitude, when the silent prayers you whispered were answered in unexpected ways. I have seen you bow in thanksgiving when your once empty hands were filled anew. But my child, I want to remind you of this. Every blessing you receive carries within it a purpose far greater than yourself. I do not bless you just to bless you. I bless others through you. When I fill your cup, it is not for you to keep it to yourself, but so you may become a source of life for those who are dry and weary. I have not called you to build walls, but to open doors. Blessings were never meant to be hoarded, they were meant to flow. For when you share what I've given, I will continue to pour more. As it is written, give, and it will be given to you. A good measure pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. Luke 6:3-8. Look back on the times I answered your prayers, every healing, every miracle, every opportunity, every moment you were lifted from the pit. Do you think I did it just for you? No, my child. I did it so others would look at your life and know God is still alive and at work. You are a living sign of my faithfulness. Every blessing you carry is also a testimony. And I want you to use it not just to live well, but to glorify my name. Do not shrink back when I place you in high places, when I open doors beyond your own plans. It is not to exalt you. It is so that others may look up and see me through you. You may not preach with words, but when people witness your steadfastness, your generosity, despite lack your kindness in a hurried world, they will sense something beyond logic. There is something different about this person, and that difference is my presence. My beloved, blessings are not a privilege, they are a responsibility. A responsibility to love others with the same love I have shown you. A responsibility to forgive as I have forgiven. A responsibility to live unselfishly. I do not want the blessing within you to stop with you, but to flow like a river of life, touching every dry soul along its path. Because when blessings become a current, I will continue to pour. But when they are held back, they begin to rot. Do you remember when I fed 5,000? I didn't let bread fall from heaven, I used the loaves from a small boy's hands. For it is what you are willing to share that becomes what I use for miracles. Likewise, when you offer what you have, your time, your comfort, your heart, even your healed wounds, I will use those very things to feed the souls of others, and the miracle will multiply not for you but from you. O my child, when you live so others may see me in you, you are truly living the purpose for which I created you. Every act of kindness, every gentle word, every decision to put others first is a way to shine my glory. As it is written, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. I did not call you to stand out, I called you to shine. So my child, keep your heart open wide. Live as one who has been given, not to store, but to give. Remember that what you receive today is the fruit of someone's obedience before you, and what you give today will become a miracle for someone after you. Blessing is a sacred cycle. I pour into you so you may pour out, and when you pour out, I will pour in again, and so it goes without end. Therefore, do not merely ask, what will I receive, but ask, through what I receive, whom does God want to touch? When you live with that question in your heart, you will never lack a thing. For I, your God, will continue to give, continue to use you, and continue to reveal my glory to the world through you. My beloved, if you have listened this far, then I know your heart is still open and your faith is growing bit by bit, not by what you see, but by what you believe. Not through fleeting emotion, but through the quiet covenant between you and me, a covenant I have never broken and will never forget. This letter is not just a message, it is a covenant of love. Every word I write flows from the Father's heart, not to command you, but to carry you. Not to frighten you, but to assure you. In a world full of motion, there is still a place where you can fall and never be forsaken, and that place is my embrace. I do not promise that you will never face trials, but I do promise you will never walk through them alone. I do not say that everyone will always understand you, but I assure you that I do, and I will work through you, even when you do not yet understand yourself. When you feel small, remember that I am great. When you feel alone, know that I am closer than your breath. When you doubt what is happening, remember that my plan is never in vain. Now is the time to humble your heart so I may lift you up. Now is the time to choose to believe even if you see only one step ahead. Now is the time to know that it is my presence within you that truly brings transformation. And when you rise after reading this letter, I hope you do not rise merely comforted but carrying light. For I have been with you in silence, and I will be with you in action. And when others look at you, they will not need to ask, who is this person's God? They will see me in every word, every deed, and every real part of your life. So go, my child, go in peace, go in faith, go in the true life I have placed within you, because this letter is only the beginning. The journey we will walk it together to the very end. With unchanging love, I, your God. Thank you for listening to this message. Know this, you are not just an audience, you are chosen to live daily in the presence of God's Word. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any sacred message. Amen.